And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Vianne Timmons, the Officer of the Order of Canada, among many things, the 13th President and Vice-Chancellor of Memorial University, and SSHRC Advisory Committee on Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, and so much more. Visit Dr. Vianne Timmons' bio, feministforum.ca. Welcome to the screen, Vianne.
Thank you so much, Betsy, and thank you, Courtney. Wow, what inspiring women that I'm here with. And coming to Newfoundland during the COVID, I will tell you, this has been so exciting to see all these amazing women leaders, young and me, older. I want to begin by telling a little bit of a story. I grew up in Labrador. I come from a family of miners. My grandfather went to the coal mines at 12 years old in Cape Breton. I come from what would be considered not a privileged background. I want to talk about my grandmother, who was in school and was taken out of school in grade 4 to become a housekeeper. This was not that long ago, just my grandmother. That was her story. She got married at 16 to escape servitude here in Canada. These are stories of many of women, and it's important that we acknowledge the shoulders we stand on. And I want to begin by honoring the women who came before us. Memorial University. I'm the first woman president here, and it's been an interesting thing. So the impact of pandemic on women, I'll go to the next slide to show two organizations that I've been involved in the last year. One is When Women Succeed, We All Prosper, the Prosperity Project, and also the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. And what's so exciting for me is that the women's voices are on the national stage. We have champions working so hard, but what makes me sad is that we have to have these champions in 2021, that we still are out there promoting the idea of equity, which my grandmother would be very sad about that. Impact at Memorial University. I'll go to the next slide. You can see I came here April 1st, and this is what I came to lead. A university with no people, no students, no faculty, no staff, to try to walk those halls. And as a leader, as a woman, it was important for me to try to have a presence here in a time of real difficulty. And for many women, to have that presence is a challenge. So I'll just share with you the next slide, which shows what I tried to do. I went around in June last year when things were opening up, and I did Tales from the Road one. The first time I'd ever done videos and posted on Twitter. You can see I'd made a lot of bloopers. It was a real challenge, but the generosity of the Newfoundland people was so important to me, and I got to meet amazing women through this province. But what struck me is how it was so tough for me to get outside my comfort zone. And how vulnerable I felt so often when I was doing this. And for women, we are vulnerable. We are out there as, whether we're leaders or students. My daughter said to me, you know, Mom, men don't have to worry when they walk through a parking lot at night, and many, many other things. And she is a young woman who recognizes a challenge with women. During COVID, it has had a significant impact, we've heard, on women, but it also has had a significant impact on women faculty members who have talked to me about how their research has been compromised, how it's been a real challenge to them trying to teach from home and look after family and work, and how for so many women that are afraid that we've gone back a decade, and how we don't have the solutions, but we need to listen carefully and try to figure out supports. And I'll tell you why this is important. The next slide. This is important because of Saoirse. Saoirse is my granddaughter, who I have not seen in over a year. Saoirse is Gaelic for freedom. And as my grandmother struggled, I do not want Saoirse to struggle. Saoirse, as you can see, she's biracial, she's adopted, and she has 2 dads. Saoirse is a child of the future, and we must all keep working so hard, all of us together, all of the women here and so many more, to ensure that Saoirse and all the girls like Saoirse have a better future than we have left in our legacy for women. For my daughter, I want my granddaughter to not face what my 3 daughters have faced in our society. So for all of you women out there, for all of you allies and advocates out there, remember what we do is for Saoirse. Thank you.
Oh, Vianne, thank you for weaving. Yes, as we wipe our tears, thank you for weaving the thread between your grandmother and Saoirse, and standing on the shoulders of yourself as first female president of the university, Her Honor, first lieutenant governor female, so many women first who are here to speak. Thank you for the power of your connection also, but to the corporate world and the private sector role. And as a founding visionary, you were with the Prosperity Project. And Pamela Jeffrey, also the founder, was on an earlier feminist forum. So we thank you for your work at connecting the private sector.